time to rock and roll on a Wednesday. Hump day on the hottest show on the streets. We're bringing you your Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Happy to have all of you checking out the show on today. We bring you the show from the magic city of Birmingham. We stream this to you through YouTube. And speaking of the channel, go ahead right now, stop all that you're doing, hit that subscribe button, get every friend, family member, diehard Bama fan, casual Bama fan, consumer of Tide football to subscribe as well. Don't forget to share the show to everybody that you know. Get everybody involved in the content, because if you love the content, they will as well. Be sure to hit that like button. Give us that thumbs up right there on the show. Hit that like button, tap the like button, show that support. Trying to get the show 50 likes out the gate to start it for you. Appreciate the support from you guys. That daily super chat go $100 daily. Super chat go $100 right there. We thank you guys. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so that way you miss nothing when it comes down to your Bama football coverage. And also we have a message board. So for those of you who are trying to be in the first wave, the first group of fans that want to help us rebuild, regrow the message board, the link to that can be found in the chat line and in the description. We appreciate that right there. But we want to hear from you, the outstanding fans of Bama football. You can do this by calling 205-448-1358. The number to call in to let your voice be made known on the show, 205-448-1358. And one more time, 205-448-1358. The number is also on screen. And we got to shout out Kenny Heathcock getting us started with that $5 donation, dropping the love there in the bucket there. Appreciate Kenny Heathcock getting us started here on a Wednesday. But we start the conversation here, John, with Alabama's running back room, and in particular a freshman who has not stopped his consistent workout videos, his consistent grind, trying to put himself in a situation to maybe even be running back one, the starter. I'm referring to five-star Justice Haynes from Beaufort, Georgia. This young man has not stopped whatsoever. He's continuing the grind with the Beckwourth Sports facility in Georgia. He's continuing to work on footwork, cutting, balance, agility, weight training, injury prevention training, so many things that Haynes is putting in to ensure himself, hey, I'm going to either be the starting running back or I'm taking several carries from several people. One of the two. He is getting his name across one way or the other. That's what Justice Haynes is doing, and it's remarkable the hard work, the effort, the determination this young man is showing, as you're seeing the clip here on screen, and somebody of whom a Georgia legacy. His dad played for the Georgia Bulldogs. Justice decides to go against the grain, choosing the University of Alabama in the 2023 class, this recent class here. Haynes, a phenomenal career at Beaufort High School. We're talking over 7,000 career rushing yards, 7,574, 95 total touchdowns throughout his high school career. A young man that can do it all. Can run the ball for touchdowns, catch the ball for touchdowns, take, kickoff returns, punt returns for scores. An all-around, versatile, do-it-all, well-compact athlete. And we saw him in spring practice for Alabama. Coach Saban mentioned it. If you were out there just watching him, and you didn't really recognize, and you saw him out there performing, you wouldn't really recognize that he was a freshman out there. So high praise from Saban when it comes to Justice Haynes. Not just Saban, several of this young man's teammates for the Crimson Tide saying the exact same things. We heard in two scrimmages his domination, his ability to rip off long plays and get huge runs and score touchdowns, and just the way he goes about the business, the workmanlike mentality that he has. And then, of course, in the A-Day game, did have 3 total scores, including a touchdown reception from one Dylan Larnigan. So for Haynes, he's put in the work. And the big question is, should he be the starter for Alabama? We know when Alabama's had a number 1 featured back, those guys have a different mentality. Those guys have a different mindset. Those guys bring something to the table that make you go, whoa, I never seen that. That's never happened before. I've never seen a guy that looks like that, runs like that, plays like that, has that type of skill set, has that type of athleticism. Where did this individual come from? He's got to be the starter, right? We remember when Mark Ingram came in, we were like, whoa, the shiftiness, the athleticism, the vision, the power, the workman-like mentality, that the kind of Superman thing that Mark Ingram would do. We were like, he's got to be the starter. Trent Richardson, we saw the size, the bulk, the build. Like, we've never seen somebody this built low, this strong in the legs and the calf muscles, and having to keep him out of the weight room because of how strong Trent Richardson really, truly was. You look at when Derrick Henry came, we were like, this is Optimus Prime. Where was this built? Like, Derrick Henry, 6'3", 240 plus pounds, man-child. Where did this guy come from? He's got to be the starter. We've never seen anything alien. We've never seen anything like this guy. I mean, Najee Harris, haven't seen anything like him. A guy that can catch, run, spin, hurdle. Like, whoa, like, what is this? So a lot of the number 1 backs for Alabama football under Coach Saban, they brought something that we had never seen prior to them. And so you look at a Jace McClellan, you look at a Jam Miller, you look at a Rodell Williams. These are all good backs. These are all talented backs. But it's like, does Justice Haynes bring something that those 3 do not have? And it makes you go, okay, he's got to start. He has to be the one. Because he brings a switch, he brings an element, he brings a level, he brings a capability, he brings something that I just don't see in Jace McClellan. I just don't see in Jam Miller. I just don't see in Rodell Williams. And he's got to be running back 1. Like, he's got to be the first guy to touch the football. I mean, we're seeing it right here, the work ethic. We're seeing it right here, the footwork, the agility, the cutting, the spinning, the movement, the holding the ball high and tight, the jump cuts, the fluidity in the hips and the leg and the feet and the drive, and all of this. We're seeing it on screen. We saw it in high school. We saw it in spring practice. We're looking forward to seeing it more once fall camp unveils in August. But does Justice Haynes, should he be running back 1 for Alabama due to he can give more than everybody else on the roster here? We're going to take our first break on the show. I want y'all to think about that. We're going to take our first break on the show. When we come back, I want to get your phone calls. Chat us up in the chat line. I want conversations from you. Do you feel like, despite all of the experience on the roster, Justice Haynes, beyond a shadow of doubt, should be running back 1 for Alabama? We take your calls after this.
I'm Malachi Moore, and you're watching In My Own Words with Stephen M. Smith on Touchdown Alabama YouTube channel.
9 players have teamed up and released the Alabama Team Paper, which is a video yearbook they put out for sale direct to fans. Now, for the first time, small dollar purchases from the fans can support the players as a group as well as a great cause, because $1 of every subscription payment is donated to the Boys and Girls Club of America. Be a 5-star fan base and support your team and a great cause with Team Paper. Check it out at teampaper.com/Alabama.
Remember the taste of Grandma's delicious sweets? Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes brings back those precious memories with just one bite. Each cake made from scratch. They make the perfect dessert to share with family and friends for any occasion, and ordering is easy. Visit emily'sheirloompoundcakes.com. Click the online store and shop. Then pick up your fresh cake at the kitchen in downtown Homewood. Order yours online at emily'sheirloompoundcakes.com. Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes, making memories from scratch.
And we're back into the action here, folks, from the break on a Wednesday hump day. #1 ticket for your Crimson Tide football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. Got my man John Ivory in the production studio handling the things from behind the scenes here. Continue hitting the like button. Hit that like button. Give us that thumbs up. Tap the like button right there. We're 5 more likes from 50. So continue, hit that thumbs up. Tap the like button. You know what to do there, folks. Show that support to the show right here. Continue to hit that subscribe button as well. Get everybody that you know to subscribe and share the show around. Daily Super Chat Go, $100 daily. Super Chat Go, $100 right there. We appreciate you guys. But we go to the phone lines to grab your calls. Call segment brought to you by the Blue Wrench Gang, 205-448-1358. Number to call in, 205-448-1358. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Hey, man, it's Jay Sports Cards.
What's happening, man? How we feeling?
I was wondering with J.C. Latham, do you think, like Evan Neal, that he would be better off moving to left tackle and then putting Proctor at right tackle?
I think so. I really do. And you look at, for Nick Saban, when he's got an experienced offensive tackle on the right side, he'll start him off on the right and then flip him over to that left side. I would like to see Saban do that with Latham, put him over at left tackle, and just start growing Caden Proctor as a right tackle. I would love to see Saban do that, and hopefully he does do that, because that's the best move. Have Latham go to left tackle, get him prepared to be a top 10 pick in the 2024 NFL draft, and then have Caden Proctor start off his career as a right tackle.
Thank you.
Appreciate that call there. Come into the show, 205-448-1358. Number to call in, 205-448-1358. Definitely want to hear from you guys as you continue to get your thoughts to call into the show. And I mean, for me, we've always seen, right? Saban will start a guy at right tackle the first, 2 years. And then once he sees that guy dominate at right tackle, and he knows, hey, that junior year, the NFL scouts are going to come calling. NFL draft pundits, evaluators are going to come calling. They're ready to pop your tape in and really study you and start nitpicking you for the draft. Then naturally, he shifts that right tackle over to left tackle and have a new guy, a young guy, but a guy with a lot of upside and a guy with a lot of potential take over at right tackle. So will we see this with J.C. Latham and Caden Proctor? Hopefully so. But we go to our cool call topic right now, that being Bama in the NFL, and we're looking at Bryce Young, former Alabama quarterback, who was the #1 overall pick of this recent draft by the Carolina Panthers. He impressed head coach Frank Reich so much that Bryce got moved up to QB1, getting those reps in. As we get closer and closer to the start of the season and we get closer and closer to training camp, Young continues to wow and impress the Panthers with his mental capabilities as a quarterback, with his mindset as a quarterback, understanding every play, every formation, every scheme and strategy, and knowing what to do and where to go and why to put the ball there. And I remember an ESPN analyst, Dan Orlovsky, talked about Carolina is so impressed but shocked at the same time at Young's mental strength that they don't have to shrink their playbook. Carolina is even looking to add more to the playbook and really push this thing because they recognize, okay, this young man can handle it. This young man's mental strength and fortitude as a quarterback, he can handle what we're giving to him. So because he can, why shrink the playbook? Why condense the playbook down when now we can add more to it and really see what our offense can put out there? So it'll be fun to watch what Bryce does here in this upcoming season, especially with all the news of how mentally strong, capable he is in terms of learning everything, to where Carolina is even wanting to add more to the playbook than what it already has available. But we're going to a call right here. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Hey, Steve, how are you?
Doing great, and yourself?
I'm doing good. This is on KC calling.
All right. What's on your mind right now, man?
Yes, I want to talk about, could it be a possibility that we had two freshmen start this season, one on defense, Caleb Downs, and one on offense, Justice Haynes?
You can see that definitely. I mean, you can see two freshmen. You can see Justice Haynes on offense. You can see Caleb Downs on defense. For Caleb Downs, it'll just be, where does Nick Saban put him? Does Nick Saban put him as a free safety? Does he put him as a strong safety? Does he put him as a dime linebacker, which I doubt he will be the dime linebacker? I would see him more as a free or strong safety. So it depends on which safety position does Saban put Caleb Downs, but you could see definitely Downs and Justice Haynes both start as freshmen.
Okay. Yes, I'm looking for both of them this season.
Absolutely. Both of those guys have a good chance to play and have an impact this season. Appreciate the call right there coming into the show. Both of those young men have a chance to make an impact. Haynes, Downs, Caden Proctor has a chance to make an impact as a freshman on the offensive line. Could we see two freshmen start on the offensive line? Maybe. There's potential there. With the three names right now, you could see Downs, you can see Haynes, and you can see Caden Proctor all start as freshmen there for the Crimson Tide. And this is where fall camp is going to be so much fun. How many more young names will rise to the ranks and earn Coach Saban's trust and get out there on the field to provide an impact for this year's team? But we take our next break here on the show. Don't touch that dial, folks. When we get back, we get into topic number 2 here, the conversation. That being one, Freddie Roach. He's garnered a lot of conversation this summer. He's entering year 4 as the D-line coach. Can Roach finally have this group playing knockout elite big man football? We'll get into Coach Roach after this.
What's up, Bama Nation? This is Rudy Griffin, former Alabama defensive lineman, and you're listening to my guy, Stephen M. Smith, in my own words, brought to you by Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Roll Tide, roll!
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
We're back in, rocking and rolling, folks, with the action from the break on the hottest show in these streets. We're bringing you non-stop Bama football content. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA, on a Wednesday, a hump day. We're right now 61 likes, but we're going for 75. So continue hitting the like button, tapping the like button, give us that thumbs up. We got 117 in the chat. Hit the like button right now. Stop all that you're doing. give us that thumbs up, tap that like button. We're going for 75 likes right now. We appreciate all of you hitting that subscribe button as well. And that daily super chat goal, $100 daily. Super chat going $100 right there. Gotta show some love for Dale B. Dropping in a $10 donation, putting the love there in the bucket. Appreciate that from Dale B. helping us out here on the show. Also, people, we have a message board. TouchdownAlabama.com, Touchdown Alabama Magazine, have the message board here for those of you trying to be in that wave of fans, that first wave of fans, supporters, trying to help us regrow, rebuild the message board. The link to the message board can be found in the chat line and in the description. So check out the message board right there. But topic number 2 here, John, of the conversation goes to a coach that we have all been talking about this offseason quite a bit. And that guy is Freddie Roach, former Alabama linebacker. Played from 2001 to 05, if I'm not mistaken. Decorative Alabama linebacker. And Coach Roach was being a bit of everywhere in his college career. Got to the University of Alabama in 2020 as the D-line coach. He is entering his 4th year in the program, and this is a pivotal year for him because a lot of you as fans, y'all want to see him turn this defense loose, this defensive line loose, and have guys being back to playing elite, knock him out, snatch his soul from him, big man, dominant, bully football. This is what y'all want to see, the return of from Coach Roach. And we haven't seen the big men just turn loose yet. I mean, 2020 was a good year for Christian Barmore. It really was. 2021, Fedarian Mathis did some good things, but aside from him, last year, 2022, it was kind of, So 2023, you want the big defensive lineman handling business out there. And it's not the fact that you don't have a talent, because you do. Jaheim Oatis is big talent, right? Tim Smith, remember, this was a 5-star who came from Florida in 2020, right? Tim Keenan III, who's been on his own body transformation from the Birmingham area, right here. He was a 4-star. Damon Payne, big talent. Monkel Goodwine, talent. There is talent. Jamarian Latham, talent. There is talent all over this defensive line. Big James Smith from Carver High School in Montgomery. There's talent all over this line. Nothing but talent. Yes, Jamil Burrows in the transfer portal. I get it. But there is nothing but talent on this defensive line. So there should be no reason why Bama doesn't have guys on this defensive line getting 5+ sacks. No reason why there shouldn't be 5+ sacks from several players on this defensive line. No reason why they shouldn't be. No reason. I mean, in years past, Alabama had guys that were not this talented on the defensive line, but they were still affecting the quarterback, stopping the run, getting pressure, getting sacks, knocking guys down. I mean, in years past, Alabama had guys like Nick Gentry out there just wrecking folks. Nick Gentry wasn't the biggest guy in the world. In fact, Nick Gentry, if I believe, John, was about, 6 feet, 6'1"? And he was out there still pushing the pile. He was out there still nonstop motor. I mean, in years past, Alabama had guys like Jesse Williams. He's out there still pushing the pile, still stuffing the run, still creating havoc to the quarterback, still making plays. Alabama had guys like Damian Square, still knocking guys flat out, still doing his thing, still roughing people up. So you have players that have the talent on this roster. You can't tell me Jaheim Oatis is not talented. You can't tell me Tim Smith is not talented. You can't tell me Damon Payne and Monkel Goodwine and Jamarian Latham and James Smith. You cannot tell me these guys are not talented. They are. So for Freddie Roach, this is a pivotal year for him. Like, he's got to have these guys getting off the line of scrimmage, knocking guys over, hitting the running back in the mouth, taking the quarterback out, making opposing teams cry for their life, so to speak. Like, he's got to get that done this year. He's got to. He's got to get that done this season where this defensive line is concerned. And this is the reason why Coach Saban brought this man in, is to get this D-line back right. I mean, prior to him, you had Brian Baker, who was in Tuscaloosa for, 1 year, 2019? No, I understand. Brian Baker had a different situation. Brian Baker had guys hurt. LeBron Ray was hurt. You know, other guys up front were hurt. I get it. You know, Christian Barmore was the only guy out there doing something for real, for real. So, you know, you give Brian Baker that, but at the same time, Freddie Roach was brought in to have these guys fire off the football. Freddie Roach was brought in as a guy that's played at Alabama, knows the system, knows the program, understands what's going to be demanded of him to do. And for the 2020 to 2022, we just have not seen this defensive line just really, truly take over the way we saw it take over with Jonathan Allen, with Deron Payne, with Dalvin Tomlinson, with Deshaun Hand, with Rashaan Evans. You know, players like that. We have not seen the defensive line take, like Quinnen Williams, like early Raekwon, not late Raekwon, but early Raekwon Davis. We haven't seen a defensive line take over since then, right? Where you didn't know which guy was going to take your head off at any given moment. This is why Freddie Roach was brought in, to get Alabama's defensive line back to that style. Can Freddie Roach bring that giant wall back up front? Y'all know what I'm talking about. That picture that was floating around on Twitter some years back, where you had A'Shawn Robinson and all them guys. It was called the giant wall of you-know-what. That wall right there. Can Freddie Roach bring that type of mentality in year 4 and get this group playing to the way that group played 2015, 2016? We got to see it. We've been asking for it for a long time, but we got to see it. Got to happen this year from Freddie Roach. But we go to the break right here on the show. Don't touch that dial, folks. Still getting you started here on a Wednesday. When we get back, we go to those phone lines. We grab your calls. We get your thoughts. We want a conversation with you. Line us up in the phone lines right after this.
Every sports fan deserves the proper representation. Whitwell Sports introduces to you the Title Towel. Wave that Title Towel in the air like you just don't care, in support of Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Only $9.99 and it lasts a lifetime. Head on over to whitwellsports.com and get your Title Towel today.
This is Chris Rogers, 2009 national champion. You are listening to the baddest, when I say the baddest, sports show in the state of Alabama. In my own words, you know, yours truly, Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Don't touch that dial.
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
All right, people. We're back into the action, folks. From the break on a Wednesday, hump day. Hottest show on the streets, number one forum for your Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Appreciate you guys checking us out on today. Continue hitting that like button. tapping that thumbs up, smashing the like button right there. We appreciate that support from you guys, hitting that subscribe button as well, sharing the show to everybody that you know. Daily Super Chat Go, $100. Daily Super Chat Go, $100 right there. We appreciate the support coming from all of you. Got the message board here for those of you trying to be in that first wave or group of fans, supporters to help us rebuild, regrow the message board. The link to that message board can be found in the chat line and in the description. Check that out right there. But we go to the phone lines to grab your calls. Call segment brought to you by the Blue Wrench Gang, 205-448-1358. Number 2, call in, 205-448-1358. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
All right, man. This is Scooter. I'm calling from Tuscaloosa.
What's going on with your Skoda?
What's going on, man? I know we talking about this coming up season right now when it comes to the defensive line, but I kind of want to jump a little forward and ask you a question. How do you feel about Beeman that's coming in from Parker?
I like him.
I've seen some highlights of that kid playing, man, and he looks like he's a monster and an athlete.
I really like him. I know the nutrition staff. I know David Ballou is going to probably add a little bit more strength and weight to him, but just seeing his film, how he jumps off on tape, love his motor, love his hand placement, love his motor, love his explosion, love the energy that he plays with, and he's kind of one of those guys that everybody sort of rallies behind at Parker, who's kind of got this magnetism to him. I like the kid.
Yeah, man, I like him because I was just going through some of his highlights today, and it's crazy that you're talking about the defensive line today. Like I said, I was going through some of his highlights today, and I just seen that kid come up on the line and snatch an interception down with one hand and return it like 80 yards and just pull away from everybody. So, like, the speed that he has, man, that's pretty big for him to be on the line.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he's been working with some guys that we know here at TDA, in the Birmingham area. So Beeman, good kid, really good athlete. I'm looking forward to seeing him, once he arrives on campus because, like I said, the motor's there, the potential is there. He's got like a magnetizing personality. I like the kid.
Man, thanks for taking my call, man. I appreciate you, Steve. Keep doing a good job, man.
Absolutely. Scooter there calling from Tuscaloosa. Appreciate him. We grabbed this call. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
What's up, Steve? This is Jason from Tennessee.
Hey, Jason, what's going on?
Not much, brother, man. Just enjoying a week of vacation. Been working some long hours lately. Just glad to get a break.
Man, I'm telling you, when you can get that break and you can pop back on the couch, you sit there and go, thank God.
Yeah, man. I just wanted to touch on something here, man. Been hearing like a lot of things that the Bama fans want to see this year. But the main thing I want to see us get back to dominating on the road. Last year was just painful to watch the way we played at Tennessee, at LSU, and at Ole Miss, and even the Texas game. I mean, the penalties, the lack of discipline, and we kept their fan base in the game the whole time. I remember, I think it was back during the Jacob Coker year. Well, right after we lost to Ole Miss, I think we went to Georgia, and I think they were ranked pretty high, and everybody thought we were going to lose that game. And then I remember we met Georgia as they came out of the tunnel, and they got in Georgia's face and was jumping around, and I said right then, man, we ain't going to lose another game this year, and we didn't. But that's what I want to see. I want to see discipline on the road, and I want to see them getting back to taking the other team's fan base out of the equation early.
Jason, absolutely. You go back to, you mentioned 2015. I even go back to 2016 where that Alabama defense on the road took the heart of everybody out of their stadium. I mean, I remember when Alabama played Tennessee on the road that year in 16, they just took everything from Tennessee fans. When they played Arkansas on the road, took everything from Arkansas fans. Whenever that defense, 2016, went on the road, that opposing team's fan base had no chance whatsoever to celebrate. And that's the big part of the whole make him quit mentality that Saban instilled in from the get-go. When you go on the road, make the opposing team's fan base quit. You don't have them clap. You don't have them cheer. You have them say nothing because they would have nothing to cheer about. They would have nothing to smile about. They would have nothing to be happy about. So I agree with you on that, Jason. Definitely want to see this year's team get back to when you go on the road, the moment you step off that bus, the opposing team fan base is like, we ain't finna have nothing to be happy about today.
Absolutely. Talk, man. Roll Tide, and let's get that championship this year.
Absolutely. Jason calling from Tennessee. Appreciate him calling us in here on a Wednesday, 205-448-1358. A number to call in. So let your voice be made known on the show, 205-448-1358. Guys, shout out, I am the last ape with that 99 cents there, dropping it into the bucket right there. I am the last ape, helping us out here on the show. But yeah, John, I remember that 2016 Alabama defense, man. They went into every opposing team stadium and took the life out of them. Took the living life out of them. I remember the LSU game that year. The final score was, 10-0? Took the life out of LSU. I mean, took the life right out of that LSU crowd. It was like, it didn't matter where that Alabama team would go to on the road. They believed in taking the life out of everybody. I remember the 2017 Alabama team where that one Vanderbilt player sat there and said, we'll show you how to play some SEC ball. Alabama, you're next. And Alabama goes to Nashville, and they took the life out of Vanderbilt's crowd. I mean, beat them down. Commodores, beat them down. So it's going to be fun to see what this year's team, the mantra that it carries. But cool call topic here. Amari Nyblack, second-year tight end for Alabama, inking a NIL deal with a sports agency. Hopefully, Nyblack is able to be more so utilized from the field this upcoming season because of his ability